we have Commissioner Tanya Bach. Is Commissioner Suarez here? He will be here, at least we hope. We also have the aides for County Commissioner Mickey Steinberg and County Commissioner Eileen Higgins. Would you just identify yourselves? Tati and Daniel? Yes? Thank you for attending. Am I missing anybody? Okay, well, we're all here. And as we open, I'd just like to say thank you for celebrating with us. Thank you for participating in the city's only citywide resident advocacy organization. It's really important, yes, to everybody. It's so important what Miami Beach United has been doing for 12 years now, working hard to protect our rights, to make sure that the city government understands what our needs are and is responsive to those needs. We now have, I think, a city commission that is very strong and resident-friendly and will also be partners with us as we work to continuously improve the quality of life here on Miami Beach. But there is no MBU without you. It sounds corny, but it's true, right? It is really the watchword. United is the key in our title, right? And if we're united, we're powerful. The more of us there are, and the more united we are, the more we can do. So I hope that you enjoy the meeting, the short meeting. I hope that you enjoy the celebration. And I hope that you'll tell your friends, your neighbors, your associations to join us, to join Miami Beach United, and to participate. I'm going to put a brief plug in for volunteers. We do always need people who can volunteer to help us. You don't have to be a board member to help. Linda Kolko is here. Linda has been extremely helpful at all our events. Richard Cantor is here. He's helped us a great deal. Drew Tabone. We have lots of people who are not necessarily in a position to be a board member, but they're more than happy to help. So if you know anyone like that, please get in touch with us. Okay, so with that, I want to start the meeting. I'll give you the order of the meeting. The first thing that we're going to do is present to you the 2024 Board of Directors nominated by the nominating committee. And then the mayor will swear the board in. After we do the election, the mayor will swear the board in. After that, the mayor will say a few remarks, and then our three new commissioners, we've given a little bit of time. And then at the very end, we have a special presentation to make. So without further ado, I'd like to present to you the 2024 Board of Directors. We have two new members. First, Jack Finglass. Jack, when I call your name, if you would come up and join me up here. Jack Finglass, longtime advocate, preservation guru, and gentleman and a scholar, former chair of the HPB. We are honored to have Jack with us on the board this year. Second new member is Robert Selsom. Robert, if you would come up and join us here. Robert is a full-time resident this year for the first year, but he's been an activist for many years, helping MBU with the leaf blower initiative and working on the marina issues. Thank you for being with us now, Robert.
Thank you.
Now we have our returning board members, Ron Starkman, who is our Vice President for Government Affairs. Thank you, Ron. We have Gail Durham and Elizabeth Latone, both in our Special Policy Division, also Government Affairs. We have Scott Needleman, longtime activist and utility infielder for anything we need. Saul Gross, who is our treasurer, former commissioner. And many of you talk to Saul over the email because he responds to every single person individually. It's amazing. I don't know how he does it. So Saul, thank you. Adam Kravitz, who is our secretary and legal authority. Amanda Knapp. Amanda is our MBU administrator, without whom we don't run. So it's amazing. And then who am I forgetting? Hortense DeCastro. Come on up. Member engagement. Hortense. And Valerie Navarrete. Valerie. Come on up. How can I forget board members? Roger. I don't mean to take you for granted. Roger is our marketing and communication guru, and we speak with him almost every day. Manning Salazar, are you here? He's not here. And George Gonzalez is not here? No? Okay, then I think I have everybody. Do I? Gail's on the way, but Gail has not appeared yet, so we may have to go ahead without her. Mayor Minor, if you'd like to come up. Before we do that, I forgot. We have to elect the board. So, everyone here is a member. So what I'll ask is, if by a show of hands, you could please, by election, affirm your approval of this 2024 Miami Beach United Board of Directors. All hands. Okay. Are there any show of hands for not approving the Board of Directors? Okay, then this board is now officially elected by the members. Mayor Minor, I'm going to turn it over to you. It's the last page there.
That's it? All right. Do you mind if I borrow that?
This is tradition! I want to say a small thing. Claire said everything, and I want to say a big thank you to Claire, what she does for the community and everybody here. And congratulations to all the commissioners, mayor, and all the people who are involved here. We live in the best city in the world. Thank you.
And thank you to Georgios, who has been the best neighbor and friend and family member that a community could have. Thank you, Georgios.
So true. The best place to have a party. So I just read this? What I do? Okay.
You need a light?
This is the oath of the MBU board installation. As directors of Miami Beach United, you are called to be the leaders of a dynamic and growing organization. By the way, I never use notes, but I have to read this. Which for over a decade has made a significant difference in educating and advocating for the residents of our community. So true. During 2024, the MBU members are entrusting you to handle the affairs of the organization and to demonstrate high standards of professional and ethical conduct. Will you, as newly elected officers and directors, agree to give of your time and energy and to work together to serve Miami Beach United in accordance with the bylaws?
Yes.
Okay, so far so good. Will all the newly installed board members please raise your right hand and repeat the following pledge? I state your name, promise that I will, to the best of my ability, faithfully perform all the duties expected of me as a director on the board of Miami Beach United. Congratulations to the new board of MBU. I'll just say a couple of words, and then I think the commissioners are going to speak to it. Even though Claire mentioned all the commissioners, I always like to repeat because we really are a team. You know, I get the people always mention the mayor first, but we work together as a unit, and no one person can get anything done. So, Commissioner Fernandez, Commissioner Bott, Commissioner Magazine, Commissioner Dominguez, they get everybody? Amazing. By the way, I could not be more proud of MBU. It really has such an incredible impact. It's not just words. The residents of Miami Beach, if you look over time, have become a force, and much different than it was even 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You see it in the people who are getting elected. You see it in the decisions that are being made from the commission. And this is where it happens. Look at this crowd. This is incredible. And MBU has been responsible for actually proposing legislation. I'll give you one example. Our commission approved. There was a very close vote, 4-3, when we're dealing with vacate streets. It's sort of like it's a little bit of a gimmick, but you can vacate the street and get the FAR from there to make the building higher, and that the commission could vote on that. My MBU proposed, and it was a 4-3 vote. I was with the 4, and we no longer allow that without a voter referendum. And along those lines, I have a proposal that thankfully our commission approved on first reading unanimously to make it more difficult to increase the FAR, the height and density. Right now it takes 5 out of 7 commissioners. Again, because we lost some of the ability out of Tallahassee to have those voter referendums, and we've seen how those voter referendums go. The residents have spoken that they don't want to see the overdevelopment. So my proposal was to make it not only 5 commissioners to approve a FAR increase, but 6 out of 7. It passed first reading unanimously, and I'm pretty confident it'll pass. And by the way, and here's the difference, here's why elections matter. Because every commissioner, and my colleagues know what I'm talking about, we count the votes in our head. Every time we have a proposal, you're thinking, okay, I know this person, we can't talk to each other because of sunshine. And before the election, I don't think I had the votes. Quite honestly, it was going to be close, and luckily the item wasn't called, and as mayor, I called it on the first meeting, and we had the votes, unanimously, so it makes an absolute difference. Transparency, I don't want to keep going on because there's so much to talk about, but transparency is so important, and transparency is important, and I've had a number of items on it. We're going to continue to have it. I know my colleagues agree with me, and the reason why it's so important, because if you, the residents, don't know what the issue is, or if you don't have all the information, you can't tell us what you think and feel, how we should direct our city, and that's what it's all about. We're just the voice, we're a representative of you, and if we don't give you the information, that's one of the reasons I'm going to be very mindful, and I think my colleagues will agree with me, and they'll point it out as well, that we're not going to try to put things on at the last minute and not give you the opportunity to read it and then put it on for a vote. We can be very mindful of that and make sure that you have the opportunity to learn the issue. I can't speak without talking about public safety. So I'm just going to mention that briefly. Thank you. So be safe right over here. So, public safety, I was calling it law and order. And it's so important, the police visibility. There's so many aspects to it. But I'm very proud of a lot of the work that our commission has done, a lot of the initiatives that I've brought. And again, we can't do it alone. So I could bring something, but I got to have the votes. And we've transformed our municipal prosecution program. We've done a lot of good things. We've passed an ordinance now relating to the homeless. I'm bringing at the next meeting, one of the issues we had is where the county, and this took me a while to figure out because it wasn't brought to my attention what the reason was, but a lot of our drug dealing arrests, I'm talking about drug dealers, were not being prosecuted because they were not testing the drugs in the county. They're short-staffed if it doesn't rise to a certain level. So we are actually going to pay for 2 drug lab technicians embedded in the county that are going to test our drugs. So no drug dealing arrest is going to go by without it being tested and then prosecuted. And that's what we do. We're just going to keep quality of life. I'm going to have a clean streets initiative that I'm going to be bringing. It's constant. It's every issue. We're delving into permitting issues. There's so much to do. And I plan on getting it done with the help of my colleagues. But thank you so much, really. Keep on up what you're doing. This advocacy absolutely makes a difference. If you're ever tired one night and you're debating, should I send that email, should I send that? Send it. Send it. It makes a difference. Keep it up, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Minor. Thank you. I think I get that little doohickey back, but I don't really know what to do with it. Okay, I got the doohickey on now. Somebody else should probably have it. We want to have a word from our new commissioners, and we're going to start with our very own past president, Tanya Bott. Tanya. You can make your way around the plates or, whatever.
Is there some kind of bad luck about stepping on broken?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not for you.
Well, I don't know.
Here you go.
How much? Whoa, jeez. Hi. Oh, the speaker's back here. That's why it's loud here and not so loud there. For those who don't know, my name is Tanya Bott. I am the past president of Miami Beach United. It was the honor of my life to be present for this amazing, amazing organization. And the only thing that has succeeded it is the honor of being your newest commissioner. So I'm pretty excited to be back in my home turf with all of you. It is a big moment in each year for Miami Beach United when the new board gets elected. It's a little bit of a traditional changing of the guard, but really keeping the tradition and the advocacy alive. And I love seeing our new members. I know one very well, and I know one by reputation. And it's a continuation of a great line of thoughtful, committed resident activists who are doing the right thing for the greater good, and that is what MBU is all about. And it is corny to say, and it is also true, that there is no MBU without you. And that means in any way you can get involved, even if it's only a little bit every once in a while. But sharing the newsletters, talking to your friends, letting them know that we're here. You can't, you can take the girl out of MBU, but you can't take MBU out of the girl. MBU has a robust website to share. It is a great training ground. I was invited to join the board by the late great Mark Samuelin. He became one of our most favorite commissioners. It is a great way to learn the issues, and if you're new to the organization, you're just starting on your journey about being a resident activist, you're in the right place, boy. Everybody here can tell you a lot about things that you might not know about. So I'm not going to bore you with the details of the legislation I'm proposing or the things that I'm doing that don't have to go onto an agenda. There's a lot that you can get done as a commissioner that doesn't have to go in front of the commission and be voted on. You can just have meetings and brainstorm and find solutions and make them happen. And I don't want to waste all of our collective time on the really important agenda items when I can get stuff done in between commission meetings. But there are two things that I do want to highlight because they're near and dear to the MBU credo. The first commission meeting was in December, and one of the most important things for me was to put an item on, which passed, I'm delighted to say, on the first reading unanimously with my colleagues, which is that anybody, whether commission or staff person, who puts an item on the agenda, a legislative item, they need to disclose whether or not it was precipitated by a lobbyist conversation. It doesn't mean that there's necessarily inherently anything wrong with having a conversation with the lobbyist that might have triggered a good idea, but that's a different thing from saying we'd like to change the zoning for a particular project, right? So it just gives a little bit of provenance of where an idea came from so that we can put it into the appropriate context. The other thing, and again, near and dear to MBU's heart, is increasing noticing requirements for items on the land use boards, and really increasing how robustly that is effectuated so that you can all find out about things well in advance, get the answers you might have before the meeting happens, do a little homework. So, every time that we instill new board members at MBU and new commissioners on the dais, we try to make everything a little bit better, and hopefully you'll find that with this commission, this group of people who are very aligned in their mission, that you will see really great changes over the next 2, 4, and 8 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tanya. You can give me the little dooflinky back now. Next, we'd like to invite Commissioner Joe Magazine up to talk to you for his 2 minutes.
Wow. 15 years ago, I had my heart and mind set on moving to Miami Beach, and it didn't happen. I wasn't able to get a job offer that I had interviewed about 4 or 5 times and just had my heart set, plan my life out. And for the next 5 years, passcode for everything. When I logged onto my Bloomberg terminal in New York City at 6 a.m. after taking the subway would be Miami something something. That was before you needed 30 letters and question mark, exclamation point. But that was a dream of mine. And I never thought, when I was sitting there looking to achieve that dream, I'd be honored enough to be standing up here as your elected representative. But that's exactly what I am, a representative, and I represent you. So I'm going to have my ideas, but my main priority is to push forward the things that our residents want, because as a representative, that is your job. I'm going to hit on a few things that I'm focusing on, but again, I can't stress enough how much I welcome your feedback, your input. You will always have, for everything that I do, transparency in where it's coming from. I think my vision is going to be very much aligned with what I've been advocating for the past 10 years. So I don't think I'm going to be a person of many surprises. We could agree on things, disagree on things, but I don't think you're going to sit there and question where ideas or initiatives come from. One, I'm going to be very focused on government inefficiencies. And you could be sitting there as a resident saying, well, how does that affect me? But it affects every one of us in our everyday life. Things like the permitting issues, how our streets get cleaned. Okay, so there may not be 30 things on every single commission agenda for me, but behind the scenes, for 20 years, I've been working across the country with different various local, state, municipalities on things like improving their efficiencies, and that's exactly what I look to do from the inside. Also, I'm honored enough to be selected by the mayor to chair our finance committee. So I will be very focused on our fiscal situation in Miami Beach. For instance, we are in a very healthy fiscal position, but our resort tax revenues were down 14% in December. So these are conversations I'm going to be looking for a solution for going forward. And then, in the areas where we do grow, I want to be sure that we're not doing it in a way that is mutually exclusive with our residents. And for so many years, the term business in Miami Beach has had a negative connotation because so often it comes at odds with our residential quality of life. I look to thread that needle and find ways to grow where it doesn't come at the expense of our residents, but actually enhances our residential quality of life. For instance, I put a discussion item on for discussion, and I'm still vetting it out with legal, but it came up because I think collectively we have such a great commission. We all have our own priorities and our own vision, but there are many things that we are unified on. And if we're going to grow, why do we always need to grow with more and more hotels? Right? We have such a plethora of supply there, and it's pushing down costs while our residents don't get the focus. Right? And when you have too many hotel rooms and not enough residents, well, then all of your amenities are going to be focused on that. And that's why we have things like the surf supply stores or the Walgreens on every single corner, things that are catering to our tourists, because we're actually reducing residents while we just grow time and time again through tourism. So I put a discussion item on that actually, perhaps citywide, you can no longer build a hotel as of right. You can come to the commission, and if it's a worthwhile project that has its merit, we have some of the best hotel brands in the world happening up on Collins Avenue, where the Aman, the Bulgari, maybe there is a place for that. But no longer can you do it as of right, because we want to push forward initiatives for the residents. So again, it is such an honor, aside from being the father to, I think, who is the most precious 7-year-old human in the world. This is an honor of a lifetime, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you in the years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. Is Commissioner David Suarez here? I didn't see him. Okay. Okay, let me put my dooflinky on again. Pardon me? Yes, we've already introduced Alex and Laura and acknowledged them. Yeah, we're having the 3 new commissioners speak, and the third one is not present. So we're going to move to our next item on the agenda, which is a very special. Oh, I want to say one more thing before. You've had a chance to hear from 2 of our new commissioners and from our new mayor. This year, Miami Beach United is going to do the best we can to make sure that we engage with the commissioners and the mayor more often, and that if possible, we give you, the members, an opportunity to do so. So stay tuned to your newsletters for the ways we're going to accomplish this. But I think it is very important that we have the ability to speak directly with our city government. So I just wanted to let you know that that's in the works. And now we have a special presentation, and Saul Gross, where are you, Saul? You're somewhere. Come on up. We're going to give a presentation to our longstanding member, Herb Frank. I'm going to turn it over to Saul.
Thank you. So where else can you go out at night and have four of the commissioners, the mayor come and speak to you? Not just because it's after the election, but they really care. I mean, you listen to them talk and it's impressive. I really appreciate, having been through it and a long time ago, the passion and the energy that they bring to the job and for the benefit of all the residents who are here. You know, they're not here just to put on a show. They're here talking policy at a meeting like this, which is kind of unheard of. But that's what makes our city great. Everybody's into policy. If I ask people when they're writing to me about coming to the meeting, and I say, what kind of issues are on your mind? You find out very quickly that most of the people here who are at the meeting have the same things on their mind in terms of controlling overdevelopment and traffic and quality of life in the neighborhood. So it's a very cohesive group, and I'm very happy to be here to welcome everybody. But tonight we wanted to recognize a little bit Herb Frank, our dear friend who was one of the original board members of Miami Beach United when it was founded 13 years ago in 2012 by former Commissioner Nancy Liebman. Herb was right there at Nancy's side. Belle Isle was really like the cradle of the creation of MBU, and Herb was right there in the middle. One of his early fights was about parking, which is no strange thing in Miami Beach, which is a small commodity. Herb, at that time, the Standard Hotel was using a lot of the residential parking spaces on Belle Isle for the benefit of their commercial establishment. And it's a fine establishment and a terrific credit to our city, but they were taking up all the spaces for the residents. Herb and his wife mobilized the Belle Isle community, created a resident association, and created a parking district for the residents to park in so that the Standard couldn't take over all their parking. So that was the beginning of Herb's political enlightenment in Miami Beach after coming from out of town, and he worked on so many accomplishments of Miami Beach United, including a very successful one which was called the Residents' Right to Know. Mark Needle was very involved in that. I think Mark is here also, and he and Herb worked tirelessly on that to make sure that whatever the commission is doing, they have to publish in public notices and make the residents aware of what they're doing, know things done behind closed doors. We have a sunshine law here, so they have to observe that, but the residents' right to know was just a way of saying that we want our residents to be involved and to know exactly what's going on with the government, and it has to be published on the internet and make everybody aware of it. And it seems like a small thing, but it comes up in so many different iterations, and in the beginning the administration was not too thrilled with it, but I think everybody accepts it now as the right thing to do. And so for that, you know, if nothing else, Herb, one of your accomplishments also. But I want to speak just a little bit about Herb as the person. I mean, he is one of the nicest, most sincere, honest, down-to-earth, strong character, but not with any kind of hubris. He always is looking to achieve consensus in whatever is done. He's never confrontational. He's always listening to what you have to say, and he gets a lot of things accomplished. He's been our biggest ambassador to the community outreach to bring members into Miami Beach United, which has been very successful. He participated in the thankless task of selecting the directors of MBU, which is not easy because it's hard to herd cats and get everybody to agree on who the directors could be, but Herb went out and picked out terrific candidates, and we have a fantastic board today. So, you know, Herb is really such a good person, contributed so much. Come on up here, Herb. Let's give him a round of applause. Bring it over, okay. All right, we're good. If I had my glasses, I would read it to you, but you're wearing yours. What, you want to read it?
Honorary lifetime membership, Herb Frank, with great appreciation for your long-standing dedication and leadership, 2024. Thank you. I'm not a great speaker. I think I'm more of a doer, but okay, I'm sorry. It's been great being a member of MBU, and I thank Nancy Liebman for getting me involved originally with this. And I thank Claire and Saul and all the board members over the years that have helped me, and I'm really thrilled that I was part of this group. I want to thank the mayor for all the work that he's done in helping MBU over the years, and I guess the leadership of Miami Beach is due a big thank you. I would like to just say one more thing, and that is that MBU started a concept, and it's sort of stuck in the city right now, and I'd like to recommend some pushing. And the mayor was part of the original getting this going. The commissioners approved, and it's somewhere out there being worked on, I hope. Website where all of the commercial developments in the city will be posted, so everybody will know what's going on, and they'll be able to have interactive communications with the city so they can learn and give their own opinions. And I feel it's a very important thing for the future. It's part of the residents' rights to know. And I used to live here. I'm living in Coral Gables now, so that's why I'm not on the board, but I guess. Anyway, I would like to recommend some activity in that area. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Herb. And by the way, this is the largest annual meeting that Miami Beach United has ever held, so please give yourselves a round of applause. All right, enough from me. I see that Commissioner Suarez came in afterwards. Maybe we'll give him a chance. Sorry?
Is Tanya going to do anything?
Oh, I don't know. Tanya, you have okay, you can do that. Maybe David, you want to do that with her or something? No? Here I am, improvising on the fly.
So if I could ask my fellow commissioners and the mayor to join me up here to do a proclamation.
Watch the plates.
Come on, Zach.
Everybody here? Yes. Is Laura here? Okay. Well, Laura's with us in spirit. So what I leaned over to say to Herb was that the interactive website that he's been asking about, I literally just sent him an email updating him. It's definitely work in progress, but we're all going to have to make sure that doesn't fall apart. Anyhow, so on behalf of my colleagues and those who are here and those who are not here, I have a proclamation of recognition for Herb Frank. And if you'll indulge me, I'll just read it very quickly. The City of Miami Beach presents to Herb Frank, contributing to improving the quality of life wherever he resides is part of Herb's DNA. And anyone who's ever talked to him understands that. A Philadelphia native who started several successful businesses, Herb began his civic engagement with Philip Pride, a not-for-profit which organized residents to clean up parts of the city that needed environmental improvements. In Long Beach Island, where he kept a second home, Herb volunteered extensively in the LBI Foundation for the Arts and Sciences in numerous roles, including president, treasurer, and as various committee chairs. That's all practice for Miami Beach. Upon moving to Miami Beach in 2001, Herb really hit his stride. His involvement started with completing the Miami Beach Leadership Academy, which if you guys haven't done, you should, which provided the tools needed to participate in local organizations with the purpose of improving the quality of life for all residents, and he took off from there. His accomplishments include, but are most definitely not limited to, being a founding member of the Belle Isle Residents Association, bringing together neighbors to improve availability of resident parking for residents, adding trees to the park, creating a dog park, among other items. Board member of the Venetian Way Neighborhood Alliance, advocating for the stationary bridges connecting the Venetian Islands, including confronting FDOT and the county in order to retain the bridges on the Venetian Causeway. And really, trust me, you don't want Herb mad at you. He speaks his mind. Member of SCORE Miami-Dade, providing counseling to small businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs for many, many years. And as you've heard, founding member of Miami Beach United, the only citywide residents advocacy group. I'm not going to repeat what has just been said since Saul did such an admirable job of that, but it's in here. Herb and his beloved late wife, Barbara, recognized that serving their community was as important as providing for their family. This proclamation honors Herb for his devotion to his communities and the lasting legacy his hard work has helped create.
Thank you very much. And Herb, you are a treasure. And just because you live across the bay, we know you're not gone. I talk to you at least a couple of times a week, and he's still following up to make sure I'm doing my job. So just so you know. Okay, so before we close, Commissioner Suarez has appeared. He was a little bit late, unavoidably. I'm giving him a little less than his 2 minutes, but he said he'd do very short, and then we're going to close it up.
Hi all. Sorry I was late. I was picking up my son from mathnasium. Don't want to take too much more time, but you know, one of the few things I campaigned on was accountability and enforcement. And one of the few things that I campaigned on was accountability and enforcement, and that's exactly what I'm going to bring home. One of my passion projects that I picked up was protecting our marine environment in Biscayne Bay. And every day we see these new derelict boats that come out into the bay, and they pollute our waters. Their anchors scrape the marine grass, miles of marine grass, and any high winds, and it's a problem. And I just got back from Tallahassee, lobbying for a bill that's going to hopefully put an end to the problem here. And so next week I'll be back in Tallahassee for the Senate committee hearings, and I'm hoping to have this closed up in a couple months. So if you guys have any questions, come up to me. I'm more than happy to talk. Thank you.
Can I say hi?
Say hi.
Hi!
Thank you. Thanks very much. Well, now we'll adjourn the meeting and the party begins. We'll have food. The bar will be open. Again, we thank you all for being members of Miami Beach United, and we hope to see you very soon and hear from you whenever you'd like to speak with us. Thank you so much, and thanks everybody. Good night.